This is Adaptive Leadership by Shrema Lubitel. So I did my research on adaptive leadership and what is adaptive leadership, what are the different components of adaptive leadership, and what are some key principles, who leads the world in adaptive leadership, and what are some pros and cons of adaptive leadership. What is adaptive leadership? Well, it's a leadership model designed by Ronald Heifetz and Marty Linsky, specifically to address long-term complex problems. It can help, organizations adapt to change, and it can be seen in a variety of ways depending on the type, size, and goals of the industry. So this is specifically used in companies where you have to have a various contingency plans and adaptations to different problems. There are 4 key principles which we will go over in the next slides. Organizational justice is where the adaptive leaders, like the leaders who practice adaptive leadership, have created an environment where all members are included and they share their opinions and have their opinions be heard. This helps provide an area of comfort while also providing a structure of equality and justice. So no one person is leading the entire discussion or having, just their views be painted in a good light. Everybody has a chance to share their ideas and their opinions. Adaptive leadership is big on relationships, having the emotional intelligence, being able to maintain a supportive mindset with everybody in the industry or the organization, the ability to make sure that the members feel heard in the process of problem solving. So like explained in organizational justice, everybody feels heard. So in this case, they want to make sure that everybody feels heard. So you have to make sure that you're keeping up with that. So the leaders need to have a high degree of emotional intelligence because no one person is the same. There's different people react differently to various problem solving methods and different news. So empathy and emotional awareness has to be at the forefront of every interaction with the members of the organization. In the name itself, it says adaptive leadership. So we know that in case of development and, promoting growth within the members of the organization, you need to adapt and adjust to, to stay crucial and stay relevant in a complex organizational space. You should focus on all members of the team and not just the seasoned members of the team. And you should also, keep in check of who you're assisting. So, you have the time to find, help empower your members to find growth within the organization. For the 4th one is character. This is for any leadership style. I don't think this is unique to adaptive leadership. Ethical responsibility and morality cannot be overlooked. It has to be key in every sort of leadership style. Transparency and honesty helps keep the members of the organization confident in the leadership abilities. That doesn't mean the leader needs to have high levels of skills, but they should be able to keep that open-mindedness where all the members are concerned. Now, the leader should also be able to hold themselves to the same standards that they hold their team. If they're not held to the same standards, how are the team going to trust them, right? It's just they're not putting themselves in their position, so how are the leaders going to be trusted? Situational and inclusive leadership theories is very included within the adaptive leadership theory. Specifically in the definition, it varies from type of industry to size of industry, which is the same thing as saying situation to situation. And then you have in the key principles organizational justice and emotional justice. Inclusivity is big. It's very, very heavily implied here. In my research, I didn't find just one person who uses adaptive leadership. There was a criteria. Presidents of foreign operations, head of emergency response teams, and introduction of educational technology. So specifically talking about educators currently who are getting, who are being exposed to all of these trends and advancements of technology and they don't have time to catch up. Now, with presidents of foreign operations, that's a little bit self-explanatory. You are interacting with all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds and cultures, so you have to be, adaptive to those. And head of emergency response teams, no two emergencies are the same, no two victims are the same, so you have to be aware of that as well. Now, some pros and cons, these have been gone over in the previous slides, but I'm putting them in two different sections here. Change is a positive. They love change in adaptive leadership. It's not an inevitable solution, like a problem or something like that. It is something that's considered a positive. Inclusive in the sense that all the operations and insights are regarded heavily, equally, so everybody gets a say in the situation. And it's adaptable, which means that finding effective solutions is very, you can find any innovative solutions to any issues that rise. You can find effective solutions. It doesn't have to be one solution only. Now, however, there's some cons here. Leaders need to have the ability to change the mindset of the members. So, even if the leaders themselves are keen to adaptive leadership, the members need to be able to voice their own opinions, because it's inclusive, but they can't be included if they don't voice their opinions, right? So it's not an adaptive leadership situation. Now, there also needs to be some recognition that some solutions will become a failure. Essentially, you're not always going to have cases where, it's going to be a success every time. And hesitancy can have a big effect on change and adaptivity, because you can't be hesitant when it comes to change and adaptivity. You have to be able to make a decision quickly, right? And here are my references.